Okay, welcome back to part 2. To keep this simple, I'm just going to use the GoPro there just so we can get through this, because I'm running a little bit behind with sorting stuff out. So I just want to keep things really simple. So when I went up to Scotland, if you watch the live stream as well, basically when I went up, I packed the Gregory, and the Gregory was ready to go. But as I mentioned, the forecast was changing very quickly, and it got to the point where I knew we would be camping higher up, or I knew there was a chance. So I took with me the HMG Windrider. Now, one thing that I've not mentioned before with the Windrider, if you remember the Dartmoor video where I used it for the first time, I said the back was uncomfortable. Well, the Windrider has these rod things in the back. That bit I think goes at the bottom, so it would kind of go like that. So that goes at the bottom, and then this bit here is kind of designed to take the load away from your back. But I think I was finding that this bit here was sticking in my back. I just found these metal rod things incredibly uncomfortable. So luckily there's a way to take them out. Very, if I can do it, believe you me, you know, anyone can do it. So I took those out because they were just so uncomfortable with. So I took this with me, and I just filled it up with all my down stuff, all the very cold down stuff, and then I changed when I was there. So these are the things that I did not take on the trip, but they were packed and I swapped out. So, and I really need to get this stuff put away. And I need to get this stuff put away. So I took the Arc'teryx Atom SL, but I left it behind in favour of the Berghaus MTN Arete jacket that Chris uses. In the end, I didn't need it in the end, but I thought better to take more insulation than less. Obviously I still had the boots. I don't know whether you can see, you probably can't see, but there's a little bit of tin foil, very, very thin, under the carbon super feet, and I think that helped keep my feet warm. When I was up there, I got a winter gas. Well, in fact, I got 2 winter gases. I did take one out earlier on. And if we have 2 summit camps and I need to be melting snow, then I will take one of those. I took to Scotland with me, but I didn't actually take it on the walk, the MLD 28 Spirit quilt. I took it, well, I took it to Scotland, but not on the camp, because I was thinking that if it was going to be extra cold, I was thinking about Lassie. I could wrap Lassie around it, but when I saw the temperature was only going to be about -7, and her ponchon, is that the right word, ponchon, for just staying outside, or her thing of not even worrying about the cold, I didn't bother carrying it, so I left that behind. PhD mitts, like I said, these are all the things that I carried up to Scotland but did not take on the walk. I didn't take these mitts. I didn't think I'd need them, and I must admit I didn't need them. I took a gas pot support, but I didn't take it, if you get what I mean. Senshi Designs light top. So like I said, this is all the stuff that I did not take on the walk. So because I got a Senshi Designs hooded top. That I took but didn't use. I got the Century Designs trousers for in camp. Those I did use. The only thing with these, if you're by yourself, it's kind of okay, but if you're with someone, unless it's your romantic partner, you probably definitely want to be wearing underwear with them, otherwise you're going to be showing your friend your tackle off or something. So that is the only thing with Century Designs. It's very lightly woven, so you don't necessarily want to be, you know, showing everything off. Because originally the forecast wasn't too cold, my original plan was the -10 PhD jacket, but then when I saw that it was going to be -7, I took my Rondoy jacket, and I must admit I'm very pleased that I took that. But this does now fit me. I did a video on this a while ago, and I must admit I am pleased to say that it does now, you know, it fits me somewhat better. I've lost about 8 to 10 kilograms from those days. I'll try and lose a little bit more. My minimus PhD leggings, I left those behind in favour of the Rondoy trousers. I left behind my Rab Pertex synthetic booties in favour of the PhD Zero booties and the Xped over thing, which you probably would have seen in the other video. If I miss anything out in this or the other one, like, just let me know, because I'll probably do another unpacking and I can try to improve what I do in another video maybe. And this was my -5 sleeping bag, but because it was -7, I took a -21 PhD sleeping bag. So because I'm quite a cold sleeper, these sleeping bags I've had 10 or 12 years from PhD, and I went for the design your own option. So basically you just sort of tick boxes and they build the sleeping bag exactly how you want it. So rather than going for a off-the-shelf option, you know, you can do a design your own. And to be fair, well, I think back then there was a bit of a price difference back then. I designed one recently, which I might get in the autumn, and it's about the same price as their regular ones. I can't remember the names offhand. This is the pack that I didn't take with me. So this is the Gregory Paragon 58. And I wouldn't have got everything in here, given that I filled up the 70-litre pack, and the 70-litre pack has got huge outside pockets as well. So I took the Duomid XL with me, and I took the Namage 2, and then I made the decision when I was there which to take. And basically, because there wasn't any snow, well, there wasn't so much snow up high, and I knew we wouldn't be needing the snowshoes, which I believe are about 1.7 kilograms. So basically snowshoes plus the Duomid XL, not including pegs, including the pole, is about exactly the same weight as the Namage 2. So I thought, if I'm not going to take the snowshoes, then I won't take the Duomid XL this time, and I'll take the Namage 2, because the weight differences, like I said, was pretty much identical. So I've mentioned that bag. I did a bit of shopping, so I got some icebreaker underwear. Like I said, I really need to get this sorted out now, because, you know, hopefully maybe Chris will say we need to do another trip soon, so I need to get this organised. I used my Paramo hat quite a bit, and that did very well. So this is also now some stuff, because it's in bags here, that maybe I was wearing, so I'll let you know whether I was wearing it or whatever. I think there's some socks that I need to wash. I didn't wear them. Sorry, I think I wore them on the journey up and back. Vitamins, cup. I've got one of these cups. People seem to really like these cups. I took it, but I left it behind. I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest. So that was that. This is the PhD. That's the Minimus PhD down booties. So I've got those down booties, plus I've got the zero down booties, and then maybe in the spring I might be tempted to get their wafer thin down booties. In here, that's stuff for night time in the hotel. Stuff sack. Like I said, I've got to sort this out now. That's underwear that I wore, so that could do with being washed. That's sacks, if men are interested. And they are good. I didn't use that fleece. I took these trousers. Someone was asking about trousers. This is mountain equipment. It's not soft shell, but it's like a little bit thicker than a regular trouser, but it's still quite lightweight. So that's a nice trouser. I took my Gore-Tex jacket just in case I wanted Gore-Tex, but I used Paramo. I took my heavier Gore-Tex waterproof trousers, but I didn't use those. I took some lighter ones with me. That was oh, I think I took that one, but I didn't use it. That's a merino base layer. I think I took a long sleeve merino base layer. That's sparkles all over my... An old pair of Arc'teryx Power Stretch soft shell trousers. Spare darn tough socks. So these are the shorter socks. So in my video you'll see the ones that I wore came almost to my almost to my knee, whereas these are clearly much shorter. So those I took, but I didn't take, if you get my drift. And then I wore this I did wear. That did very, very well. The Rab Vaporize is brilliant. I must admit, that's really good. So that's everything in that bag. When I was up there, Black's had a sale, I think £7 or something, Summit to Eat. I know I do my own, but I think for £7 it just made sense just to grab some very quickly. Well, that's my... So I need to wash those as well then. So that's my... There's quite a big difference in these socks. So that's your regular Dan Tough sock up against the ones that I took. And the regular ones, they're thick enough, but I don't think they're quite as thick as these. These are definitely sized where you could get a liner sock underneath them. But even though they're quite roomy, you can kind of see the regular Dan Tough socks, the Trekker ones, whatever they're called, kind of, you know, would fit underneath. But I wouldn't do that combination, but a liner sock would fit under there. But like I said, they were definitely a bit thicker. There's not a huge amount in it, but the main difference is in the length. Like I said, that went up to my knee, and that made a big difference in keeping me warm, or keeping my feet and legs warm. Paramo trousers, they were very, very good. They did well. I wore those, they were good. Like I said, I'm not going to go into, as a point, you know, the video will be too long if I go into huge details on things. That the mountain equipment Arrow shirt, this is really nice, very, very nice. I do like that. And then that was the, and it doesn't smell, which it shouldn't after just 2 days, merino. And then that was my merino base layer. People back in the day will remember chocolate fish. They've stopped doing it a long time ago, but this is probably one of the best merino things that you can get, because there's no there's no Chinese fibers added in, let's say. So that's incredibly soft. So that was my Paramo jacket that I took. This is the Enduro. So as I mentioned in the live stream, and your watch goes over the top, so it doesn't, it's fine. So the entire time I wore that. So I put that on at the very beginning, and I left it on until we were heading down into Glenfeshie on the 3rd morning. Other than that, I never once took it off. I didn't even take it off in camp the first night. So I wore that first, and then when it was cool, which was quite a lot of the time, obviously, I wore this old Power Stretch glove. So it's kind of, it fits over there. So I wore that quite a lot of the time. When it cooled off a little bit, I put my waterproof over mitt over, which is just very, very lightweight. I need to sort things out, so I've probably put it down somewhere. That's what I mean. I need to sort stuff out now. Basically this here. So this is just an event over mitt. So when it started to cool off a little bit, not too cold, and I just put that over the top, and then that just added it kind of just gives you a bit of a microclimate inside. You know, there's nothing to it. It's very, very light. When it started to get really, really cold, then I've got this Extremities. It's a Polartec X-Dry glove. I got these from Blacks Online. They were discounted. So I got these, and these fitted over that inner glove. So when I got into camp the first night, because it was -7 when we got into camp, and it was just cooling off, obviously we stopped walking. So the first thing I did was put my my down jacket on, and my hands were cooling off, so I put this on over the top of all of this other stuff, and I didn't get cold hands. So, and that actually works really, really well. I was very happy with that. And obviously, if you just wanted to wear this glove by itself, then, you know, it's small enough that I can wear it. I think it's a size medium, but I mean, my hand fits inside. But because that glove is quite thin, you know, I could wear the two together, which I did several times. So that worked really well. I was impressed with that. Obviously, that's the stove there. So on the walk, but again, we didn't use them because it wasn't, well, apart from the 2 little bits of ice that I found. These are the Catula crampons. So I ordered from Catula. The first one, stupidly, I bought from America, so it cost me £50 shipping, which was pretty stupid because I realised you could get it here. But I think my Catula crampons, which are about 10 years old, I think they've changed the designs a little bit, because when I ordered the skins to go on the bottom of them, basically they do a KTS skin and they do a K10 skin, and I can't remember which way round it is, but in a nutshell, I've got a K10 skin, I think, at the back, or it might be at the front, and a KTS skin I've got at the front, but it might be the one at the back. I can't quite remember, so I had to end up using you know, both skins to get them to fit, and I had to do a little bit of snippy here and there just to get them, you know, to get them to fit on as well. But I did get them on eventually, so I have got skins on them now. But again, because it wasn't icy, you know, I didn't use them. I'll try them and see how I get on. Chris uses them, and you know, he swears by them, so they must be pretty darn good. I don't think they're readily available here. Obviously the regular crampons are more in this country. I suppose people don't use walking crampons so much. They want to use the more aggressive climbing crampons, but I'll give them a go and I'll see how I get on. But they are lighter than the Petzl and the Grivel type and such like. So one thing I got in the original video part 2 was what was in this box here. So in here I had my if I was going to do another sort of interviewee thing with Chris and his kit, then I had the ability to mic him up. I took those gloves, but this is stuff I took but didn't take, so I took to Scotland, but I left those gloves behind. I took some creamy gel stuff for Lass's paws, but as there wasn't really any snow as such, I didn't bother taking. I didn't take 4 extra snow pegs, but I had 8 already. That's the Duomid XL. That's ground sheet. Small gas I didn't take. Micro spikes I didn't take. I didn't take this rubbish bag because I used something else. I didn't take these extremities because it wasn't going to rain. Rain wasn't really forecast so much, so I took my super lightweight ones rather than these slightly heavier duty waterproof mitts. Those are the other skins that I didn't use on the crampons. I didn't take this tripod because it's a little bit heavier, but if my pack's not too heavy, I prefer that one. Sun cream, there wasn't very much sun, but if it had been very sunny, maybe some sun cream because of the snow. And then that's my poles, or my pole for the Duomid XL. So obviously when I go up to Scotland again, hopefully this month, February, this box is half ready. I'll put more things in here and then I can decide what to take, you know, the day before, because it takes a couple of days to get up there. So that's like my travel box type of thing there. So I will start getting that a bit organized for the next trip, whenever that is, sometime soon. Anyway, that's it. I need to sort out here. Between this, the previous video when I unpacked the stuff that I took, you you know, I hope you found this helpful and informative, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully something else up in Scotland, fingers crossed, in the not too distant future. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to check out the live stream. It's nearly 2 hours, so it was quite long, so you know, but it's there if you want to. And we're talking about, I was talking about the trip and such like. So anyway, I will catch up again soon. Thank you very much for watching, your support, everything else. It's very kind of you. Thank you very much.